it's a need for the church.
Well, then that means that you have to learn how to cast vision.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to cast a vision. Most of the times, people don't move and catch a vision until it's casted, and then they have to be enthused about it. They have to be motivated in order to accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? You have to help them to be able to see the end result. They have to be able to see what you see. You have to be able to paint the picture so that what you are, whatever your goal is, that it is attainable, that it is reachable. It is something that's realistic. It is something that we can actually do. You know what I'm saying? And you have to help them to believe that you can as a body. Mm-hmm. Okay? Study the pros and cons of each possible solution. So once you have a plan A, B, C, D, if I do A, this can happen. If I do B, that might not work. You have to sit down and think these things out because people are relying on you for leadership. So if the ship sinks, you're responsible for the passengers. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think things through. Don't think like, well, I was thinking that sister so and so had that. No, you had it. You had it. And if y'all sitting together as a team and coming up with something as a team, then y'all all better go over plan A, B, C, D, back up to the backup, back up to the backup to the backup. Go through all of that together so that everybody's on the same sheet of music. Okay? Decide which solution or solutions are best. What is the best way to carry this out? This is what this could look like if it doesn't work the way we want it to work. This is how this could pan out. This is the bad side. You know what I'm saying? We could actually have folk mad at us if we do it like this. But then again, we could probably have everybody happy if we do it like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to weigh your options. Make a step-by-step plan to achieve your solution. This is actually showing you how to set a goal and how to go through your goal, how to come to the place of accomplishing your goal. Okay? Decide what resources, people and things, that people are resources. You can use things as resources. Decide which of those resources that you're going to need in order to make the plan work. Then you need to carry out your decision. Don't carry your decision out without forgetting what the plan is. Stick to your plan. Okay? Check your progress as you go along. Sit down and look at what you're doing and actually be honest with yourself and say, okay, this is working, this is not working. Well, that didn't work. Why do we do that? You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to have checks and balances to gauge yourself on your progress. Okay? And continue your process until you reach your goal. Okay? That is how you solve problems. Now, let me go real quick over these conflicts and boundaries. Okay. You have to be able to establish boundaries. Everybody's not going to be your BFF.
You look at the right when you said that.
Lord. Everybody's not going to be your BFF. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to always agree with you. Everybody's not going to always want to sing the song with you. They're not going to want to tap their feet with you. They're not going to always want to, you know what I'm saying, get along with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to learn how to still go along and do what you need to do regardless if everybody's in agreement. Okay? So let's talk about boundaries. Healthy boundaries help to protect one's personal space, provides emotional integrity, and helps define areas of personal responsibility without taking ownership for others' problems. You have some people who will try to pull you into their drama on a daily basis. And boundary. Your situation is your situation, and my situation is mine. This is what you have to understand, especially as you are leading. There will be times where people will come and share things with you. That does not mean that you get involved in every aspect of their life. Okay. You still have to have a boundary. You still have to understand, though I'm here to help you, though I'm here to explain some things, if I can possibly explain, guess what? I'm still not getting involved in certain things. Okay? Leading. If any of you ever called to pastoring, you have to understand there will be times when people will look to you before they write a check. They want to talk to you before they go to the bathroom. Wow. Now, if they have a special need, that's a different situation. But if you got people who are well capable and we want to just lean on you, no. I have told people, I'm sorry, that's not my business. I'm your pastor, but that's it. I might be your spiritual mom. But even that, boundary, there's some stuff that's none of my business. There's some stuff, unless you come and ask me about, I'm not stepping over into that. Because you won't be hanging me on no tree. Nope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to set boundaries about what you're willing to get involved in and what you're not willing to get involved in. Because you have to understand, and this is just the way it goes. It's a saying that they have in the church world. Nobody has more power in the local church than the pastor. And that's the truth. But here's the deal. How you wield that power is a whole nother situation. How you handle that, whether you let that go to your head, whether you abuse your power, that's entirely up to you. Because people will put their trust in you when they should be putting their trust in the Lord. And you have to learn how to shift that right back to God.
Okay.
So that you are not put in a position that you end up, you know what I'm saying, doing things and being to people what you should not be. The whole thing says here, without taking ownership for other people's problems. Okay? You have to learn how to mark people without marking them. Okay? And that's something the Lord showed me. I've been saying it over and over and over again because to me it's hysterical, but it's the God honest truth. Pigpen from Charlie Brown. Wherever he went, he had a cloud of dust with him. Look for those people.
Wow.
Everywhere you go, it's a cloud. Where that cloud came from? You always bringing something with you. Boundary. Now, we all got our dust that follow us,
Yes.
but some people got big dust clouds.
Yes.
You have to be careful because you will get sucked into that and you will be involved in their personal life. Everybody should have their own personal life. I'm not talking about you don't have a relationship with people. Yes, and you're going to have closer relationships with some than you do with others.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But you must be mindful that you don't get sucked into stuff you have no business. Okay? You're not in charge of their house. You're not in charge of whether they can take their kids to the park. That's not our business. Okay? And some of these pastors in these churches here in Fayetteville, they do that. I know it's not just in Fayetteville, but in some other churches. You know what I'm saying? Some folks won't go take no shower until they talk to their pastor.
Can't go on vacation if you don't talk to the pastor.
And that don't make sense.
That's
If you a leader, now let's talk about the spin on that. If you a leader and you have responsibilities, you should tell somebody that you're not going to be there. It's accountability, but it's not, can I take a vacation? Do you got the money?
Yeah.
Booyah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about disregard for responsibility. That's a whole, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother ball of wax. You got people who have no regard for that and they just don't care. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, just not doing anything. Unless, Pastor, can I go? Pastor, can I do? Pastor, can I? That's slavery mentality. That's a whole nother ball of wax. You know what I'm saying? So we have to set those boundaries, okay? All right. Yes, give an example. Susie Q has a problem with authority, and she has repeatedly been late on deadlines, which you, her leader, have set within the department. What makes it worse is that Susie Q is your friend. A healthy boundary would be to provide her with all the needed information for her to complete her task. Clearly communicate your expectations to her, and then let the chips fall where they may. In other words, if she doesn't come through with the assignment as established, proceed to the next appropriate step, which is a write-up, termination, what's the other word? Termination, etc. Don't allow the fact that you are friends cause you to give her more leeway than others under your leadership. The fact is, she's probably taking advantage of your friendship anyway. Okay, read the last sentence.
If you stick to the issue, you won't have to get all upset and emotional about it. Just deal with the situation and allow the friendship to change as needed.
And sometimes it has to happen.
This is good.
Okay? Sometimes it has to happen. And this is what I'm saying. You have to have difficult conversations sometimes.
Wow.
But the boundary is, okay, I'm not talking to you as a friend right now.
Wow.
Okay? Friends is not here. I'm talking to you as your leader.
Right.
And if they can't handle that, then that's an issue that maybe they're not supposed to be over whatever that responsibility is. And you have to have the gumption to be able to say, I appreciate your time, I appreciate your service, but we have to give this to somebody else because you haven't done what was noted and what was needed of you. Okay, now, and this is what I said to you before. Leaders rise to the challenge when they are given a responsibility. And this is why you have to, and I have said this before, I've had conversations with others and said this before, who we are in our head and who we are in reality is two different things.
Yes.
You might look in the mirror and say, I am a superstar. And ain't nobody ever heard of you. Right. I mean, because
declaring and decreeing, though, Apostle, what's up with that?
I am a superstar. Come on. Ain't nobody superstar.
Nobody even see that way.
Who that? In the underground. We can't even find you on IFC. IFC is the independent film company. We don't even know you there. Right, the Chitlin Circle. God Almighty, I didn't know they still had one. You know, and so this is what you have to understand.
Yes, ma'am.
You have people who feel like they are the bomb.com in their mind.
Wow.
And sometimes as a leader, you're not down in nobody. That's not the will of God for us to be that way. But you have to, like Susie Q, that right here in this situation,
Yes,
you have, Susie, I love you, but I gave you this and you didn't do it.
wow.
Okay, so now it's the next thing. You have to call her onto the carpet for that, because if you don't, you're not doing your job as a leader to help her to become a better leader. That is our responsibility, to make others into better leaders. If they are receptive, if they're receptive and they allow you to help with that, then you run with that. You run with that, because we all have areas that we have to work on.
Amen.
Every last one of us have something.
Amen.
So we have to get that person that we are in our head, we need to bring them out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's your job as a leader, to help them to get who they feel they are out. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we're just trapped inside. We want to get out and be this person that we really see that we are. We just need help getting there.
That's good, Apostle.
You know what I'm saying? And so not your correction is not coming to try to kill you, but you want to help them to become everything. And like I said, this is from 8 years ago.
Wow.
This is
Good.
good.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, when my college professor was teaching this, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to use this at church.
Yeah.
This is fabulous.
Yeah.
Because this is so good. These are things that we need.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. Did you have something you was trying to say?
This is for, you can even use this for family life.
Surely.
Like, if you know you've been trying to minister to a certain individual, it may be a child, and you kept pouring in and pouring in, and then they use that relationship as mother and parent to try to manipulate you to get them, and then God, you feel like God is saying, I got to release you on a whole nother level, but then you're struggling as a parent, looking at your child saying, well, Lord, he's in this situation, but then you feel like God is saying, you gotta allow it. You
You
understand
do,
what I'm saying,
yes.
Apostle?
You have. Have you ever seen a baby trying to walk?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, honey. Come on, honey. You give them space to walk to you. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that they don't fall between the starting point and wherever you are. If you go and pick them up every time, you're not going to help them to strengthen their leg muscles and learn how to walk.
Yes.
So that's part of what we have to do. That's what we're doing with ministry, with teaching, with training, with helping people to get there. And everybody can't make it through that process because moving. That's what you have to do. But I have to give you that space. You know what I'm saying? And it's like what this is saying. You have to let Susie Q do what she does. You can't go and rescue Susie Q. You already gave her extra time. But now that Susie Q didn't do what she's supposed to do, now we have to deal with this, because this is not about our friendship. This is about what God has commissioned me to do in your life. And if I don't do it, then God is going to hold me accountable for not being to you what I should be.
Yes.
And I'm not getting that beaten. So you have to think about that. Yes, ma'am.
Apostle, so thinking about this situation, and somebody would probably say or be thinking, well, what about forgiveness? But we know forgiveness doesn't have anything to do with
Right.
this particular situation.
Mhm.
But somebody would think that. So, in a sense, we again going back to that
Mhm.
time thing.
Mhm.
So, what's an appropriate time to say, like a previous ministry that we've been in,
Mhm.
they would allow ministry leaders to lead an auxiliary
Mhm.
for maybe 90 days.
Mhm.
Now, if you, like you said, you gave Susie Q
Mhm.
this task
Mhm.
and she did not complete it, you made sure you crossed every T and dotted I
Yes.
as to
Yes.
your expectations from
Right.
her. But in that 90 days, two times somebody came to
Mhm.
you about her, about not as far, and then you saw it for yourself
Right.
as well as the leader,
Right.
that she did not follow through and that there was just